Good morning, Facebook. It's Thursday morning for me, and I just woke up to a cool status update from a friend of mine. His name's Paul, and he's a real cool guy. I love this guy, but he put a cool status up that I wanted to challenge, and I wanted to do a video on because it's a good topic. And the topic is this. So the quote was, resentment hinders growth and learning of new strategies. Okay, so obviously this video is for the people who are interested in personal growth, self-understanding, more wisdom, that kind of stuff. So if you're not into that, don't watch. But if you're into that, check this out, because I'm going to teach you something here. This is really important. I think this is very, very important for anyone who's into the self-help thing, the seminar junkie stuff, all that, because this is a very important piece that we often miss when we start listening to the gurus and we start taking their word over our own intuition. So check this out. So, does resentment really hinder growth and learning of new strategies? Of course not. It can absolutely help you grow, because if you start resenting someone in your life that you're attached to and then break free from that addiction that you're attached to, you then grow as a person because you're not minimizing yourself anymore. And it can help you learn a new strategy to start communicating and behaving in a way which is more conducive to your own empowerment around this person, right? And that could be maybe a group or social stuff or business stuff or whatever. So it can absolutely help you grow. And that's the point of it, because actually you don't have resentment without a motive to grow internally, because here's how this happens. I had a few other people ask me, where does resentment come from? Where does anger come from? How does that happen? And I could go in the classical version of that and say, well, it's an unrealistic expectation on yourself or other people to live inside your values, be more positive without negative, all this stuff. And I could go into that. But what I'm going to just say is very simple. You will see and label resentment, experience resentment whenever you perceive that your highest values are being challenged. So imagine this right now. If someone comes into my room and starts stabbing at my prized guitar that I love so much, I've had for 20 years, he starts stabbing it with a screwdriver, I'm going to get pissed off. I'm going to start resenting this individual immediately, because I feel that my highest value, something that's very close to me, is being attacked and challenged. So resentment is a natural byproduct to attempt to protect you from an experience that your brain and your body automatically sees as something that's threatening. So why are we trying to get rid of that? Why do all the gurus say you should get rid of resentment? That's somehow going to... Really? That's sort of like me saying, hey, I'm not going to have any defensive mechanisms. Okay, so walk out into the world as it is right now and have no defensive mechanisms. See how long you last. Does that really sound like a good idea? That's a badass shit idea. Okay, so this is a different phase that I'm going to bring you in here. I'm going to give you an exercise. So it's a kind of a cool video for this, but you got to do the work, okay? So now you don't have to go to 100, but I'm going to use 100 as just my baseline. If you want to do that, go for it. And please, and if you're interested, post your insights afterwards in the comments, or join the Visionary Method group on Facebook and post it in there, because I'd be super curious to see your results on this one, because I know this has helped me a lot in my life, because I've also been one of these individuals who is always listening to the gurus, or what I think the guru said, which is our own fabrication of what they say that we impose onto them, to basically compensate for our own inability to handle and appreciate who we are, which is so common. It's amazing how many people actually just impose what they think they heard from the gurus, which is actually their own healing process, which is delusional. Anyway, that's a whole nother video, but maybe I'll go into that. What you do is this. So how do you actually clear resentment? Well, here's the piece. We can clear resentment, but you can also have resentment towards your resentment. And this is like an inception level here. And for me, I would rather do this work first before doing anything to clear the reaction that my values are having to an experience, okay? Because if you're able to see that there's wisdom in the resentment itself, you then stop judging yourself for having resentment, which means you're able to actually process it so much easier, because you're not pissed at yourself doing the work, trying to get you to open your heart, kind of the back way forward. This way is more frontal, it's more congruent, it's more aligned, it's closer to you, and it's easier to do. Okay, so check this out. What I want you to do is train yourself a little bit differently. So the first question you need to ask is this. What are 100 benefits to me resenting others? Okay, what are the benefits, 100 benefits to me resenting them? And you want to do it like this. What are 50? And so 100, but split it half and half. So 50 benefits to me of resenting them, 50 benefits to them of me resenting them. Okay, so kind of do self and other. You also want to do this one. what are the benefits of me being resented by other people? And you want to say, what 50 benefits to me, 50 benefits to them, so 100 split it 50-50. The third one is this: what's the benefit of me? What are 100 benefits of me resenting myself? How does that serve me, and how does that serve other people? Okay, so 50 to you, 50 to others, split it down the middle, go for it. Those three questions will help you train yourself to experience resentment in a completely different way, because when you can actually appreciate the natural state which your body is trying to do, which is a mechanism which is attempting to protect your highest values, which doesn't need to be changed but can be appreciated, here's what happens. Your self-value skyrockets because you're actually saying, hey, you know what? I'm not wrong for these emotions. These emotions serve me. It makes sense at this time, and there's wisdom there to be had. I love myself for that. My value skyrockets. My self-worth skyrockets. Your confidence skyrockets. And your self-trust skyrockets because you're no longer one of these individuals, as I was, who is always thinking that they're wrong for having these feelings. It's amazing how often that happens when you're hanging around gurus or hanging around people who claim that they've got the way to peace and harmony or whatever, because what happens is you then start thinking that they know something that you don't, and then you start assuming that they don't experience what you have, and then you start looking at yourself and judging yourself saying, well, I'm wrong for having this feeling. Hey man, you're not wrong, or girl, you're not wrong for having these feelings. These are normal. These are things which are helping you actually grow and develop new strategies so that you can live a more amazing life. So don't first off just resent yourself and try and change how you feel. I really am a big proponent of this work. Just go in there and say, how does it serve me to have this? I had a client do this the other day. She brought in, she's like, you know, I'm getting sick. I'm starting to feel this. I'm feeling this. I'm like, great. And what's the benefit? She wrote down about 30 benefits in about 10 minutes because she's done this work a lot. But she spent all night also doing it, and she was way better the next day. So it's like, I can't believe how quick I got over this sickness. Yeah, because when you hate yourself, why would your body heal itself? Think about that for a second. Okay, so that's a little exercise. I hope you get that. Maybe I'll put it in the comments below or in the video description so that you can do this, and please do it. Just take the time. Maybe it's going to take you an hour or whatever, but just do it and see what happens, because I guarantee if you're able to do this, you will appreciate yourself. And like I said, your self-value, your self-worth, and your intuition, your value on your intuition will also go up, because you're no longer trying to stop or kind of go to war with your own emotions. Going to war with your own emotions is crazy. That's what causes perpetual suffering with people who are into this kind of stuff. Go in there, appreciate yourself, love who you are, see that how you feel serves yourself and others. Stop feeling guilty for how you feel, right? And then once you're there and you've completely had love for that feeling, guess what? You're trained yourself to have love for it whenever it shows up again in your life, which is going to happen quite a bit, by the way. And if you do want to clear the resentment, it becomes that much easier because you're already saying, hey, you know, there's wisdom in it. So, you know, maybe I'll take that wisdom and now I'll be able to clear the emotions. And guess what? Most of the time when you do this work, you've already cleared it because you've opened your heart to the situation anyway. If the situation caused you to feel resentment, which because you've loved resentment helps you feel love and gratitude, the situation's already loved. Interesting perspective. Okay. Hope that makes sense to you guys. Thanks for watching this one. It's cool. Please share your comments below. Please like the video, share the video if you think someone needs this in your life. And if you want to do some one-on-one coaching with me, I'm totally open to that. I still got spots in December, still booking for January. So send me an email, coaching@stephengarno.com. And if you haven't joined already, join the Visionary Method Facebook group. I might rename that at some point, but please join that and get some conversations going and ask questions. Because I think that getting people out of the illusions and delusions of the personal development world is something that's very high on my values, because this has been in my life a long time, and I have a huge value on helping people free themselves from the illusions that they need to change who they are to be worthy of love. Okay, thanks so much for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.